This makes the Lakers absolutely unstoppable as they get yet another win on the back of Luka Doncic and LeBron James. But a couple other players, including one in particular, has unlocked the Lakers even more. We're going to break that down, discuss what this means going forward as they continue to hold on to that 2 seed. And Luka Doncic looks like he's fully back. But before we get into it, a quick reminder, if you're part of the 86% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. But guys, what a huge win for the Los Angeles Lakers. We're talking about a win that not only matters a lot towards the standings, but against a team that they desperately needed to win against. We've seen them struggle a little bit in the past against teams like the Jazz since they acquired Luka, but Luka is all the way back. The team looks fantastic. And Hunter, we'll start with you here. I mean, it was a statement win. We saw positives from Luka Doncic. You can see here 30 points, 15 assists, 8 rebounds. Would have had a triple-double if they weren't up by 20 points with 4 minutes left. You have LeBron with just as good of a game as well. 34 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists with a crazy stat we'll get into later as it pertains to LeBron. But Hunter, it is, I mean, I'm almost at a loss for words here. We'll dive in a couple of the other players that played well, but what a big win.
Yeah, it's really just a historic night in a bunch of different ways. One, LeBron James was literally 1 point away from getting 50,000 points. He gets that pretty early with a made 3, and they were able to celebrate it at the next media timeout. But then Luka Doncic also with, again, building off of back-to-back great performances from him. I look at also just the efficiency as well. It felt like these first few games where he was a Laker, he's coming off the calf injury, brand new city, brand new team, and he wasn't shooting the ball particularly well, even if he was able to find ways to be productive. But now 9 and 19, almost 50%, 6 of 13 from 3, and it really had it going early in that first quarter where he was on absolute heater. The free throws, not great, but that can be a little bit better. But 30 of 15, one of the, statistically one of the best games in Laker history. Only 3 other guys, Magic Johnson, his old teammate LeBron James, and Jerry West are the only other guys to ever do that in a Laker uniform. So that's pretty cool. And then also really too, you have no Austin Reaves, you have no Rui Hachimura, no Jordan Goodwin, 3 guys that are in the rotation. Some of your best players, obviously in Reaves and Hachimura, but guys keep continuing to step up here. I mean, Jackson Hayes, 19 and 10. I mean, they kept giving him open lobs at the rim, and he executed. He did not miss a shot, right? Am I reading that right? He went 8 for 8.
Correct.
All right, well, he went perfect. You can't complain there. And then also on top of that too, you got Vanderbilt, someone who also missed almost a full year of basketball because of multiple injuries, specifically with his heel, both his feet he had surgeries on. He has 12 points here as well, all over that block he had when it was, I think, Jordan Hawkins shooting at the top of the key, and Vando ran 94 feet, swatted it from behind. It's so easy to foul in those type of plays. He doesn't foul. It almost leads to a transition dunk. It doesn't, but still great effort by him. Saw some good Trey Jemison minutes again as well. So overall, this is a great win for the Los Angeles Lakers. I know it's against the New Orleans Pelicans, but out of these 17 of 20 games the Lakers have won, the ones they've lost have been to the Utah Jazz, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Philadelphia 76ers. So the fact that the Lakers have a hard schedule coming up here, they are able to get the job done handily against a team in the New Orleans Pelicans who quietly have won 5 of their last 7 entering this one too. So they weren't playing nearly as bad as they have been all season because Zion's back, and you have skinny Zion now who clearly did have his way against the Lakers.
Yeah. I don't know if that's skinny Zion. He still
264. That's the lightest he's ever been since like high school.
Yeah, that's not skinny. That's a grown man right there. But I mean, the Lakers had their issues with Zion, but besides that, the Lakers are really great defensively once again. Really just holding down the Pelicans defensively, like I said, with the exception of Zion because he was tremendous in that one. But yeah, Luka and LeBron, like you said, both of those guys leading the charge because you don't have 2 of your better offensive players with Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura. So those guys have to take more up of usage, but they're really finding a lot of guys for open shots. The Lakers hit a ton of 3-pointers. What was it? 19 3-pointers they hit? 19. Ridiculous amount. Like, I don't
52.
Yeah, on 52 shots. Like seeing the Lakers take this many 3-pointers, this I think has to be the team that has taken the most 3-pointers in Laker history, just at the rate they're going at. But I mean, these are good shots for a lot of these guys. So like they're getting a lot of open looks for guys like Jared Vanderbilt, who had a couple of threes. Shake Milton did his part. He had a couple of threes. Nice to see him getting in the rotation, getting some minutes here with a couple of injuries there, and producing because the Lakers are going to need that in some of these moments here towards the end of the season. And Dalton Knecht also just continuing to play well. Really nice to see him come together really after all that trade nonsense is passing through. But Yeah, just the Lakers, just through and through, just once again finding another way to get a win, and they were able to do it with their lead with their defense, but then also their two stars were a big reason why they were able to put a dent on this game and have a 26-point lead was their largest lead, I think, at one point.
Yep.
Just something massive.
Yeah, a huge win ultimately. And again, Hunter, you mentioned it. The Pelicans have been playing better basketball. And we even saw when they played the Jazz, like a lot of these teams that are really bad in the NBA, they still kind of have good nights. They're still NBA teams at the end of the day. A couple players I want to go over, and we'll start with Vando. You mentioned you can see the block right there, as clean as it gets, hustling back the floor. Jared Vanderbilt is one of the most important players of this team on the defensive end. You could argue he's the most important player on the defensive end of this team. Obviously, 20 minutes tonight, plus 26, whatever, 12 points, 8 rebounds, a steal, and an assist. And we talked about it a bit off camera. He's finally getting healthy now after missing a lot of time. Almost similar, obviously, to a much lesser extent for Luka Doncic. He missed less time, but even Luka now is starting to look obviously healthier and prepared. Jared Vanderbilt, the exact same way, and it's a lot harder, you would assume, for a role player to come out, especially in limited minutes that Vando's been playing. His defense and his rebounding as well, and I've mentioned it a bunch on the channel. They need rebounding from their wings. It's just the way that the team is constructed at this moment. We also saw Jackson Hayes, like you mentioned, he had 10 rebounds. Vando had 8 rebounds. Luka had 8 rebounds. LeBron had 8 rebounds. So if you're going to be playing small with or without Jackson Hayes, we also saw a good Trey Jemison game tonight. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. A lot of good screening from him. And then you also have Jackson Hayes on the other side playing fantastic on both ends of the ball, having a fantastic first half. So Hunter, it's everyone is playing well now. Shake Milton as well, 12 points. You mentioned it. Dalton Knecht played solid, a couple of garbage time buckets. But at the end of the day, he is playing better basketball and he's getting meaningful rotation minutes, especially with, everyone is aside from Cam Reddish, which you'll have to assume is going to be headed out of LA here soon once they want to convert Jordan Goodwin. But that's a conversation for another day. Without Rui Hachimura, without Austin Reaves, still looks like a fantastic team. The only player who really struggled tonight, visibly at least, was Gabe Vincent, and I guess Alex Len in his 4 minutes still struggled to get a rebound on guards down the stretch there. But I'll digress on that.
Yeah, and I think what Vanderbilt, again, the counting stats are coming now. You'll take 12 points from Jared Vanderbilt. Like, this is not a guy who scores the basketball. Obviously, we know he gets high rebounding numbers. He's able to get blocks. He's able to get a ton of steals. But the best skill that Vanderbilt brings is his hustle. Like, that is what the Lakers, even pre Luka Doncic trade, I just felt like they missed this presence. They missed that absolute dog. Someone who's going to get after it every single night, every single possession. He does not take off. He's going to do all the little things that are going to help the star players make their lives easier and make the opponents' lives a living hell. Like, Jared Vanderbilt is an all NBA type of defender. Like, that is how good he is. I know he's not made it yet, but at some point he probably will. He's an absolute disruptor on that end. And like you said, Nick, he's helping this engine go. We've seen the Lakers, while they had a great offensive game against this one, JJ Redick actually just saying here that the goal was to shoot a lot of threes because of the way the Pelicans defend. Clearly, that was the game plan, and it's nice to see that the Lakers had a game plan. We know during the Darvin Ham days, there really was no game plan. It was kind of just go out there and,
contest without fouling.
That
was the game plan.
Of course. Clipboard,
That's without fouling, hands in the pockets, the typical Darvin Ham. The salute, of course, Okechi. So, but JJ Redick clearly had a game plan here. And as a result, the Lakers were able to play, believe it or not, modern day basketball, which is shoot a lot of threes and a lot of layups and a lot of dunks. And as a result, they put up 130 points. Jared Vanderbilt was a beneficiary on a few of those lob passes, as well as some of those scrappy points as well. Kept a lot of possessions alive. I don't know what the numbers were, but I think the Lakers killed the Pelicans too in the rebounding department. I don't think it was particularly close. They had 51 rebounds. That's a lot in a game. So for the Lakers, this was a great win. Huge stepping stone for Luka. A huge stepping stone for Jared Vanderbilt as well. One of his best games back since he has been a Laker, especially offensively. And they get the job done. And hopefully against the New York Knicks here coming up on Thursday, primetime game, they are rested, well loaded. Perhaps Austin Reaves comes back for, a rematch against the Knicks.
You're spot on with Jared Vanderbilt and just how well that he's been playing. I think that I've noticed from Vanderbilt as well is he's shooting the three with confidence. So he knows he's gonna get these open shots. Teams are just leaving him wide open. He's not even being closed out on at any point. So he's just taking advantage of that, taking those 3-point shots. And I've seen him on a couple of times make a couple of drives, make a couple of nice passes. Vando is a nice passer there out of the short roll, and also it seems like he's getting a little bit better at making that pass shot decision when you're coming out of attacking a closeout. So Vanderbilt is doing a lot of things offensively that has helped improving this team in some of the spots, especially in those minutes where they miss a guy like Austin Reaves, because those points of the games where the Lakers kind of stalled out in offense a little bit was when like Luka went to the bench, and then they were trying to find some guys to really just start that offense a little bit. LeBron was doing the things with the scoring, but that's where you would love to have Austin Reaves or Rui Hachimura in those moments. But albeit you've got Van really putting in work, Trey Jemison also fighting for those offensive rebounds and those extra possessions. That's really been the theme for the Lakers, just with those bench units, just really scrapping, clawing guys up, beating them up. They got in a couple scuffles. I think what was that scuffle with Bruce Brown and Jared Vanderbilt,
Bruce was in the
where
middle of all of it.
yeah.
Like,
oh yes,
every
yes.
time.
Jemison just he wants to smoke. He doesn't care who you are, where you came from. He's just there, just a brick wall, just ready to beat somebody up, which I love. So having all those guys come off the bench, and it really protects their main stars, LeBron and Luka. And then once we get Austin Reaves back into the fold, those three guys are gonna really have that offense humming, and you have those other dogs you got on defense. This is a really nice formula for the Los Angeles Lakers, and just a lot of guys just collectively just playing a lot better. Jackson Hayes just looks a lot better, just not only catching and finishing, but doing things defensively as well. Dalton Knecht is starting to look more comfortable. Dorian Finney-Smith is definitely one of the defensive leaders on this team. So throughout the roster, the Lakers are starting to have key players step up, and this is just only boosting their ceiling as what their team could look like towards the end of the season here.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to see, like you mentioned, Hunter, Austin Reaves make a return on Thursday, though they might hold out until the weekend, depending on his health there. And Vanderbilt is, if you can shoot the three ball at even an average clip, that makes him a lot more valuable because he's going to be getting a lot of wide open corner threes as a product of Luka Doncic just doing what Luka Doncic does against whatever coverage that the opposing team throws at him. One final stat before we wrap up. Like you mentioned, Doncic just joined West. Of course, Magic Johnson and LeBron James, the only players in team history with 30 points and 15 assists in a game. He and LeBron are the only Lakers in the last 35 years to hit those marks. He also had 30 and 15 for Dallas in that game. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, we got him in a trade this year somehow. Just it still doesn't even feel like it's a reality, but it is. Luka Doncic is absolutely dominating, and the Lakers win 7 in a row. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching.